Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Chris Checks Out, where we're here with our special guest Arnud, who is going to share the 10-year anniversary of everybody's favorite plugin, SN Utils. So welcome Arnud. We're very happy to have you on the podcast to celebrate such a huge milestone. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's an honor to be here. It's been long in the making, so glad that it's finally at this milestone.
Yes, definitely. So how did this all start? How can you share with us the birth of SN Utils?
Yeah, as you say, it's the 10-year anniversary, and I'm a bit longer now than 10 years in the ServiceNow world. So I think we all love ServiceNow. It's an amazing platform over the years, and look how it has evolved over time. But there are always some minor gripes and issues that you think, hey, it's a great platform, but why is this taking me 5 steps, and can I do it a bit faster? And so I think a lot of those developer tools, they start from a personal frustration or a personal problem, and
Mhm.
I try to solve that, and I dig a bit in how the service now worked, and what's all that with UI actions and stuff. So at first I tried to build my own UI actions, and I started out in performance analytics, and I built a set of a collection of that. But the problem with that is that it's large, of not that easy to scale, and when you it needs to be deployed and all of that. And then I started, what is a better way? And that came, yeah, I think that was the beginning. A real basic, one of the first features was that is still quite popular these days, is hitting Control S on a record to save it. So some minor tweaks, and over time it was a hobby, and became more and more people picked it up, and so here we are 10 years later.
Definitely, yes. So this is 10 years, like you said, in the making. So you've outlined a bit of how it started and some of the features that you initially released with, but how has this project evolved for you over the last 10 years?
Yeah, it is. I think it's a bit organic, right? When you, I think I don't have slides prepared. Yeah, I wanted to make it all live and real. And to be honest, it's been a bit since the release. There were some things to fix, so I was not able to prepare a nice deck. But if you look at that curve, how it evolves, then it's really that hockey stick that you have of product growth. I think in the first year, it didn't really took off. After a year, there were maybe like 500 or 1,000 users, but it people enjoyed it, and then they share it with their peers, and so it really started to grow. And yeah, when you get feedback like, "Hey, I'm loving this," that's also one of the biggest motivators to invest in it and to improve over time. So yeah, I'm really proud that there is that it's growing to a large group of people who support it, and who love it day by day, and who come with people like yourself who give me a podium. And so yeah, that is, I think, uh, I think I would summarize it as something that what you love, then it isn't that hard to do, and so it's growing over time, and keep investing in it.
Well, we appreciate the continued investment. I can speak for myself saying I love and use this every day, all day. I'm constantly asked by customers, what is this? How did you do that? What's that little slash thing that came up? How did you find that sys ID so quickly? I get that
Yeah,
all the time. And then I'm always saying, you got to go get this. And, a couple times I've heard feedback where they're saying, we're not allowed to install plugins or extensions like this. It's against corporate policy. And I say, okay, well, you can always email me and I can do it. But
okay,
just wanted to
yeah,
say thank you
yeah.
for
To hook
spending
it.
10 years of your life with this and
Yeah,
making
well,
sure that
as I
it's.
said, it's I'm passionate about it, so then it's
Mhm.
that's that takes lot away of the pain and suffering, so to say. And coming back to that point you made, what I often see is that corporates reach out and they ask questions about, hey, how is it with your security policies, and what do you share and whatnot. And I can always help with being transparent of what it is and how it works. And then in the end, it's the assessment of the corporate in place. But I've seen a lot of cases where after an assessment they whitelisted it.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear. So you started this project while you were still working at
Yeah.
ServiceNow, the mothership. How did that impact your role there?
Well, actually, it was before I joined ServiceNow, because
Oh, that's okay.
I worked at a consultancy firm before I joined. So yeah, yeah. As I said, it grew over time. So I was 2 years in my ServiceNow journey when I joined ServiceNow itself, and there it was just that little thing that I maintained for a bit, and over time, while I was an employee, it kept growing, and I kept investing my own time in it.
Nice. So before we get into the major changes in this release, version 10 for the 10-year anniversary, just want to acknowledge a few of the comments. So Camilla said, congratulations, Niels. Rinze, I hope that I'm getting these names right.
Oh,
Paul,
Rinse,
Tammy,
yeah, I cannot see the
Juan.
comments.
Yes, we'll pull the comments in and we can show them as we get through some of this piece. But Anor is there, Chris Faulkner,
Oh, Anwar,
Robert,
yeah.
Gij, I'm sorry, GIJS, sorry, but saying let's go, our nerd. So thank you so much for engaging with us. We will, if there's time, get through a bit of a Q&A at the end. But moving on, what
Yeah,
are the
well,
major
one thing to
Oh,
add.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sure,
one
sure.
thing to add, when you mention those names like Anwar and Rinze, and a lot of people that in my post I did a thank you for a lot of people, but it's really yeah, but especially the last half year, it's been sometimes a bit intense. Leaving your day day job and pursuing what you really love, so to say, a lot of thinking of how to position it, and that's a bit still ongoing, and I try to listen, and I want to make this keep the vibe that it always had. And I want to acknowledge that the testers I had, like Andreas and a lot of others, that really contribute to it, to what it is. And I'm polishing it, still polishing, and a big release like this, it comes with some minor quirks. I'm working hard to get it resolved and make it better. But a thank you to all those people surrounding me in whatever way.
Mhm. Much appreciated for the community effort. So let's talk about the major release. What are some of the major changes in SN Utils version 10?
Yeah, as I said, and I think in a minute I'll start sharing screen. But the
Mhm.
major shift is that I quit my job and I pursue this as a business now. So that's really exciting. The what the before this, it was just SN Utils, and what I now have is SN Utils community. That is basically everything that everybody could use, just like before, and even with a lot of improvements, I would say, and the new layout, and I'll get to some improvements during the demo in a minute. Then we have the Pro version. That is really a low friction self service solution that adds some capabilities in the extension that are only available for Pro. A lot of those capabilities you can test out with a 14-day trial. That's very easy to start. Put in an email and you'll get a confirmation number. if it all works well, and maybe there are some emails that are not being received or things like that, and that's also to be settled. But it should be really frictionless to get that started. Then the Pro tier, besides that in-instance capabilities, it also adds a team capability where you can share. If you have your own custom commands or if you have your own snippets, you can easily share them with your team. It has a marketplace with pre-selected solutions that I'll also share in a minute, and yeah, some dashboarding. But yeah, I can better show than only tell in a minute, I think. And then what I'm gonna focus on in the next couple of months, that is really an enterprise offering, and the plan is to make that available via the ServiceNow Store app. So if you have, for example, an air-gapped environment, then you don't need to you are not reliable on anything of SN Utils, but it can all be run self-contained. And if people have questions on my website, I have a security page to exactly disclose how everything works. So it's good to know that the instance, as in utils, when you are on your in your instance, it does not connect with your data, and so everything you do for backup, that is just the metadata of and the settings you have in SN utils. So no connection with the live data in your instance.
Okay, so to recap, the community tier is at no charge for personal use, and then the professional
Yeah,
and workers
I
tiers are under
actually
the paid model.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, but the
No,
community
go
is
ahead.
just I have no restriction. In the lead up, I've been considering some models, but in the end, there is no restriction on commercial use for the community version.
Oh, that's very kind of you. So, what all comes with the community version?
Sorry.
What all comes with that
Yeah,
community version?
I
What can we
think. Do
expect?
you have more questions? Otherwise, it might be just as easy to start sharing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So you're now looking at the ServiceNow instance. Uh, so now you have the community version. When you go to the pop-up, I think this is known by a lot of users. It has a nice new layout, and that layout is throughout the entire system. So that dark and light, this is the theme you will see throughout the entire system. So you can see now that I am not logged in, because otherwise I would it would say pro or trial when I would have been logged in. But one thing to notice is that you used to have a page settings over here. That's now gone, because there are now a lot more settings and a lot more to control. So when I click now this icon, I prefer the dark theme, by the way. Now you see that all the settings are moved over here, and so this is basically answers what I'm showing now. What the community tier is. You now see here that I'm on community. Everything you see here is in community, and you can change and update. So there are some things like you can now instance clock. That, yeah, that's a bit a niche one, but you can see the local time of the instance if you are working on a lot of instances in multiple regions. And this is also a highly requested feature. Double click to toggle. You can now toggle it off to click anywhere in a form to toggle technical names. So a lot of longly anticipated features are now part of the community tier. Here you can set a custom command to or a custom shortcut. So a custom shortcut to repeat the last command, and a lot more. And here I have instance. So this will automatically build up your instances. And a late change that I've made is that you can manage everything from here. I had it a bit locked, but this is now all part of community as well. I'll get to this page later again when I'm logged in. And as a free user or a community user, you can again work on your own slash commands. The asterisk here is that it will purely be local. So if you have multiple browsers or you work on multiple machines, all your settings in the community are local. So any cloud feature is not part of the free tier, the community tier. And a few here. When I open the slash commands, I still use command shift, command slash, but you can assign your own key easily now as well. Here you also see that extra control size, and you can now easily place it where you want. You can resize and replace it. So this is we're still still looking at community. And for example, the community has also improvements because SI, that is a built-in slash command for community. When I do slash M, then it will say updated or created by me, do a right arrow, and it will go through all of them. When I do dash S, I add an extra filter to only go to in the current scope. And when I do slash updated 1 day, so the ones that are updated today, this is a new capability where you can just add the day. So when I say 150 days and ask for it again, then you will see then I have 12 that match that criteria. So this is an investment and an improvement that dynamic built-in switches. That's part of the community. So, but going back to that 1 day, and when I hit keyboard 1, I'm navigating to that record. Here, a feature that it's been improved as well is when I do a slash code and I type in thread. Here it goes to the new code search, and you see that it has a nicer layout where you can easily enable more details, so you can see in what fields it is and filter on that and so forward. The Pro tier has a GraphQL search that has a better search. So again, I think a big investment in the community tier, but if you go to Pro, then you will have a lot on top of that. So I think, yeah, that there's a lot more to explore throughout the system. I try to improve a lot, like for example the who edited this, then you get this update, and from here you can now easily do the view data, open that in a tab, and this is what I call. I'm a bit assuming that a lot of people know as in Utils, maybe they don't, but this is a page where you can see a lot of the underlying details. You can, if you don't have as in Utils, you would probably do this, show XML. High level, it gives the same information, but and you can also open it in a pop-up, but here you can filter it, you can see what type of field it is, you can see the field attributes, so a lot more info than in the show XML only. So yeah, and as you see, I'm still not logged in. The page to manage your Fev icon. Fev icon is also something you can edit. So I now have a green Fev icon and instance tag. You can, if I would prefer a bit of orange like. Now you already see that the instance tag is orange, and I can now easily sync it to the instance tag as well. That they share the same same colors. So yeah, I think there's more to explore. A good one to note is if you do the help slash command, you will go to an extensive doc. And when I do, for example, this is a bit of an AI helper instance tag. You can navigate to a very detailed explanation of what it all is. So I would really encourage people to have a look at this. There is a bit of a disclaimer on top that I'm actively updating it. You may see some old screenshots with the old UI, but I hope in a couple of weeks those will also be gone and all up to date.
Well, there's a lot of content to go through there. That was all excellent. I've seen many things that I know and use, but this new one that you said with the pop up piece that replaces Show XML, that's new to
Okay.
me, which is awesome
Yeah.
because one of the challenges I always face with Show XML is if I navigate away, then the window goes away.
Yeah. This is
Now that
persistent.
problem is solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're talking about that. You have three ways to see the same. View data is also available in this in the pop-up still. Actually, you need to really go through the dark side, because this is a feature that has been around for a few years, but it's better and brighter, I would say.
Oh, that's great. We've got a couple of comments. Renat says, please accept his sincere congratulations on the successful V10 release and that it's undoubtedly the best ServiceNow extension available today. So, huge compliment. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for contributing, not just to the stream, but also participating with us in Utils.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. And while we are at it, I'm going to show one slash command more. That's also in
Sure.
premium slash env. Let me see. Oh no, I'll share. I'll get back to this in a minute, because. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
are we? Where are we? Should we move to the next?
So yeah, what are some of the main reasons why you we're recommending upgrading to the pro version? I'm already going to do it the as soon as it's available, but why should people participating in the stream and those watching after we were live do this?
Yeah. Sorry. Once again, I was a bit already in my
That's
next.
okay. So the top three reasons that we should upgrade to pro.
Yeah, I think one, you get a lot more capabilities. You get in the tool itself. All that in-tool capabilities are included in the trial, so you can
Mhm.
easily trial that for 14 days. The second is that team sharing, to get really work with your team. If you have, for example, custom solutions, you can or enforce a bit of a way of working. That will also be that. I'll share some good stuff in a moment, but that's
Mhm.
also a bit the roadmap to enhance that collaborative way of working. And the third is you facilitate. If you buy Pro, you also contribute to keeping the community version free.
Right. Okay. Excellent points. Excellent reasons. Highly recommend once this is out to subscribe to that pro version to use those features and also benefit and keep this thing going. Our support in the community helps make this stuff happen. Resharing and things like that are always appreciated, but they don't buy groceries. So we want to make sure that we definitely can contribute and help keep it going for a new and show some appreciation, just like you would hope if you were in that position as well.
Yeah.
We do have one comment and one almost a request. I guess it would be a request, a feature request from Andreas saying he'd like to see perhaps an option in the community version to disable the Control S to save. Not sure how hard that would be, but we've now called it out. And yes, this is a collaborative community based piece. Or does that feature already exist?
Yeah, I
This,
believe
oh,
I've
there we
added
go.
it.
There we go. Okay.
Do you see,
So,
here? Can we control? So there's also a search here. So if you control, uh, yeah, save shortcut. So you can now
oh,
already disable it in the new
oh, there
version.
you go. So that's glad you tuned in because now you learned something, and so did I. I'm torn on that one because I do make that mistake a bunch of times. Fortunately, I've got a little go back tool that I can do, but no, this is great. Sometimes you love it, and I do, and then other times maybe it's a little too early. I'm only a half coffee in. So, okay. Moving on to the next topic, though. So, how can people follow you for more updates on this project?
Yeah, I plan to post in the couple of weeks and months. I plan to do short videos and short posts on LinkedIn. So you can on the company page of LinkedIn. So I would recommend following that. I have a YouTube channel where you can follow it. And one thing to recommend is if you go to the website, to the change log, you can see here the 10 with links to the community and also the updates. So everything is underway. Please forgive me if there are some issues that may pop up. Some people sometimes it can be a bit harsh when I get a 1-star review. Please report it via me. I'm always looking to get those bugs out as soon as possible. Yeah. So but getting I'm getting off track. But here you can in the change log. I also list everything. So I plan to put out a lot more content in the coming days.
Yes, and it is important to mention that you are there. You're not one of the creators that doesn't reply, that doesn't read the comments and respond. You'll see in many of the comment threads, thank you for the timely reply. So, really appreciate your engagement level with everybody on this project in the various communication methods. But, like you had said, there is a preferred method for you to be contacted. So, let's hope that everybody can kind of adhere to that so that it makes it a little easier for you to manage. I know that sometimes I struggle to keep up with 50 different communication tools and chat tools and things like that. So
Yeah.
just want to make sure that we're all that.
Yeah, so for one example, I got a report that the technical names was a bit sluggish. Sasha mentioned that the first time, my previous colleague, and I made an improvement. So hopefully that solves that. And people need to one thing, a good thing to note is always be sure to get the latest. So if you see an update here, be sure to, and you experience the same problem, be sure to update. And one thing that is out of my control when I release a new version, depending on the store you are on, it may take 1 or 2 days before it gets approved. Usually the normal Chrome version that has the most users is available within a few hours, but the Edge version can take up to 1 or 2 days.
Okay, it's a good call out on those so that our expectations are correctly managed depending on
Yeah.
the browser.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Okay, so when will we be able to upgrade or purchase this pro version?
Yeah, it is available. So it's
Okay.
Friday. It went live in the store, so you can just go to snutils.com or even from within the browser, and the Pro tier is available. The Enterprise is not available at this point. I when this is in a stable position, I plan to continue working on that, and I have a target for Q4, maybe earlier, maybe later. I hope obviously earlier, but I'll do my best and see what is feasible.
Okay, appreciate that. Do you want to go into my top three pro features, my three favorites?
Yeah,
Okay.
so when you are when you are still on community, which I am right now, when you go to the about tab, then you can immediately start a free trial from here. So put in your email in the about tab, and you will get a number back, and you should be able to activate that number and get going with a lot of the features I'm about to show. it would be nice if you enable this, then you get some updates when something nice or uh, important is added. Um, but for now, I'm gonna log in. So this button is also always there, the connect button. When you are on that, because I am now already logged in on snutils.com with this account. If you are not account, if you are don't have an account in a subscription, you would get in a purchase flow, and you can either buy one or even up to 50 at once. So then you get in that flow. But because I already have one, I can just say activate now, and now it has detected that it's logged in. So now when I open the tab again, you now see that I'm logged in and that I have the nice pro badge over here. So now when I go back to a ServiceNow environment, the one that I like, I'm sorry, let me first go to the instance tab.
Mhm.
Uh, to be sure, I'm gonna refresh the page, but I'm on the instance tab, and now you see that there are backups that I can restore. And when I go to snippet, then or the snippet of marketplaces, I previously on a different profile, I already installed snippet packs. I'll share a bit later what it entails. Same for commands. So as soon as you log in, everything that you have created or the packs that you have enabled are automatically synced to this instance. So that's a big benefit of the Pro version. If you are a bit worried about everything like this, you can disable it all. So if you don't want to that sync or that backup, you can all disable it. There's also collect and share data and that usage data. I'll share that. I'll also show that in a minute. But you have a lot of control over the cloud features, whether you want to enable it or not. But normally, if you enable it, then it will daily create a backup. So now when I go back to that instance tab, I can say sync from devices. And then when I click sync, it will pull in all the instances I have visited before, and so I can here manage those settings. And let's sync this one as well, the colors, change the naming, and all of that. But now when I go back to that command, to be sure, I'm gonna refresh it. It should auto refresh, but now when I do that /env again and hit enter, now I automatically get a list of all those. Normally, in the old version, you would need to type if I want to see how this script looks like in a different one. I know for a fact that this is on this should be on the 331 as well. I can just click over here, and it creates opens the same record. I'm logged out here, so let's not bother in logging in. But you get the idea that you get an exact copy of you get an exact page you were on in that different instance. And the same that env command, when the new thing that is only in Pro, I can also have my favorite commands on this little mouse action menu that I call. So when I do a long mouse press, this will show, and when I do a /tn, you can enable and disable the technical names. So this feature that you see right here, this mouse action, that is a pro only capability. And when I go back to that /env, you get a little pop-up here, and let's see. Uh, so this would open the exact same record, and I'm not sure if I'm logged in. If I'm not logged in, you won't see it. Yeah, now I'm not logged in that. So, but normally when you are logged in, then you will see the exact same. Maybe it is a nice feature too. How are we on time? How late? What's the time?
We're fine. We're fine on time. But we have some comments to go through.
Okay.
So Timothy has asked, will the Safari extension be upgraded to version 10?
Yeah, yeah. That's a bit
Okay.
more cumbersome to update. So, yeah, but I do plan to update that this or next week.
I understand. Maurice says, very proud of you. This looks incredible. Congrats on the launch.
Is that my
So
nephew or a different
I
Maurice?
believe so. I
Okay. Hi,
believe it
Maurice.
is. So I just wanted to call that out. And then um, who Jace Benson of Knowledge fame says that his favorite feature is the AI assisted slash command generator.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll share that in a second. That's also an important
mhm.
one. If someone has a little prompt to create a slash command, maybe you can share it. Or
Yeah.
this is a bit dangerous because it's all work in progress to make it as good as possible. But
No, that's fair. And then Andreas says his favorite in Pro might be the shortcuts. He's made Alt L to open a list command and Alt C to do copy cells.
yeah,
So that's pretty cool. So people are already building this and making it their own. And I really like that. If I'm working on multiple devices because I have multiple clients, I can have a single place to go where all of my commands and all my customizations are done. So I don't have to recreate things. So that's a huge win for me. Okay. So one of my favorite features to kind of run through is the SN Utils sidekick. So would you mind showing that?
yeah, that's also a nice one. So I have technical names still enabled here.
Yeah.
So, and you see that it are now, I think, a bit nicer looking pills. If you click on that little cogwheel, you get a lot of options. So
Mhm.
again, most of what you see here is available for anyone, but only the related list query helper and sidekick are premium features. So when you click that, it will open a pop-up, and you can also have it as a picture-in-picture window. Then it will always be on top. But what it tries to do is give you some insight. I clicked it from the active field. So what it now does, it scans fields, the business rules. In this case, there it found an active one, something that referenced that active one. So from there, you can just click on it and open that record. Yeah, this is a script include. So probably when you're in an incident or some more operational data, you would have a lot more. I can uh, go to an incident as well. Incident dash R and dash A and dash M. So now it should create open a random incident created by me that is still active. This is a rather old one, but doing opening the sidekick from here. Oh, I have locked it to only one instance, so close the previous one. So here you see a bit more going on. The assigned two fields all the scripts that are involved, and you have a bunch of tabs. Here you do a bit of analyzing of the form itself, the assign to. So when I get it out of way, you can here quickly toggle it, and you see if it's under the core or the extended table. Related list. This is sometimes you know that there are related records, but you cannot find them. So there are, in this case, it isn't that exciting. So these are possible related lists. This is a record where is not much going on, but here, if it would have I had an outage record, it would show up. So sometimes when you want to add a related list, it's a bit of guessing which one it is. So this can be a helper for that.
Yeah, and that can
You can,
be one of the out of the box, baseline guiding principles. You can check this easily to see if there's already a related list to add rather than building a net new
yeah,
one.
yeah. So it distincts between the ones that are on the form already and that are not on the form. And if there would be one, then and maybe I'm not sure if it works like this. If you create a outage record, say submit, when I now refresh it.
Hey, see it right
Yeah,
at the
it
top,
says
not
not
on
on the
form, but
form
it
has
has
records. So, oh yeah,
records.
it
That's
already
very
had one.
cool.
Oh, it created two tables. So yeah, so yeah, it's a bit niche maybe, but it can be useful hopefully. Table extension. So here you see, or the table extension. So how it's in that entire hierarchy. For instance, it's straightforward. It's directly from task. And a monitor when I say update it over here and say here. Now that monitor has captured it. So this is a bit work in progress again to make it nicer over the coming weeks and months maybe. But I hope you can see the potential. And for example, the Sidekick has, when I go home, it has quite a bit of features. So URL doctor, all the here says all the parameters and optional parameters that you can add, and then it creates a placeholder and things like that. Check them out yourself. Sidekick is one that you need to enable specifically. This does not send record data, but only like the table name. So, yeah, in that I mentioned before that it does not send data. So that is something to consider. Another one nice one is the log viewer. Here it will pull in the logs. And you can, and it will automatically live update. So the logs should live be added when they occur. So here it says slow ACL. The sys IDs are copied to it was a bit late. It took a while. So sys IDs are converted to hyperlinks. And you saw for a brief moment that triggers the sys-id search, and then it will open it. You see, clicking that triggered the sys-id search, and then opens it in a new record.
That's a
So
great
that is
feature. There's
one.
a couple things
I
that,
think
sorry.
now a nice one. Did someone put in a suggestion for a prompt for a custom command or?
Yeah, is it a setting to see all the additional commands like /incident -r, stuff like that?
Now what it does here, it slash. So what you see now are the available normal commands and the ones that are in the packs. But when you start typing, for example, sys underscore, what it does from your sysdb object, it fetches all the tables, and if you do script ajax, it will just start treating them as slash commands from there on. So these are not defined slash commands, but it fetches them from the table. And I'm not sure people know what you can do as well is when you are on Pro, for example, if you want to do fix for fix scripts, if you click the three dots and you go here and you do Command Shift Option F, whatever, then you can directly assign a shortcut to that. And now, after you refresh, you don't need to open slash commands, but use this shortcut to go there. And this is a pros feature. It will sync across your devices and things like that.
We've got a few more comments to get through. So Jay says that the related list look thing is amazing. Totally agree with that. I know that I'll start using that one. Adam says that the Sidekick log viewer is incredible. I can attest to this. I do a lot of stuff where I'm writing to the log just as I'm building things to validate all of my steps, and then I strip it out before I go live. But this has saved that alone has saved me that extra tab problem where you have to have the log, I have to refresh it. I never have to do that anymore. And sometimes I don't get that huge list of stuff that I don't need
Yeah.
in the log. The filtering piece on this works beautifully. And that alone, in my opinion, was worth it. But there is many more reasons. But we do have a question from Ruben. Is the monitor feature similar to the old field watcher functionality?
Yeah, I'm not gonna claim that it does the same because I that was my initial goal, but so far it hasn't been really feasible. I think it's a field watcher light, I would say. Don't please don't say, hey, this does not do what I expect, or it is it is a bit inspired by that old feature, but it is not on par. And some things are just a bit different.
Yep, and that's just the nature of the extension piece. I do miss that. I don't know why it's gone. I actually had to go back into a legacy platform UI view to use it to find
Yeah.
something just this year. So I still miss
Yeah,
it.
I
Please
think
bring it
on
back.
new instance, it's not even possible to
It
go
is
back.
not. No,
No,
no. This instance has been around for several years. So
yeah,
okay. So we've covered the the sidekick. Another one of my top three pro features is populating an incident's work notes with a record aware template.
oh yeah,
Are we
yeah,
able
that's
to
cool.
show that?
Yeah, but to show that, let me first go back to that. Let me see, where are we? Do I? Oh, I have the manage page already open. That is a snippet. So snippets you can define your own. But there's also a marketplace, and one of the marketplace is that you can either get scripting templates, but also one for work notes. So I'm still on an incident, so that's good. Let's fill in a caller ID here. So now when I want to add a work note, and when I do a tap or a shift left shift, and I start with WN, and I say WN init, it should be it. Initial response. Here you see, hello Sabrina. So this one is something from a pack, but you can also use that from a pack to customize it for yourself or create your own fully. So this is one like this. When I go to SI-N, now I'm going to a new script includes. So I can do the tap again here. Here it says AGXSI. It will copy. It will include it here. And when you are in Monaco, you can also Monaco is also aware of it when you just typing. So that snippets that you have are also available in Monaco when you add them. And what you also can do is if I trigger that tap here, when you have those variables in it, when you're not in a text field but just somewhere in white space, you have a clipboard mode. So when I then select this one and then enter, instead of adding it to a field, then you can it's on your clipboard now. So yeah, that is, for example, if you want to have the context of an incident or something like that, you can copy it and then paste it in your script field. If that makes sense, hopefully it does. And otherwise, feel free to reach out to clarify.
To clarify, yeah, appreciate that. Okay, one other piece is Adam has says that the Sidekick log viewer was incredible. I know I called this comment out, but I did miss that he's already signed up for Pro because of that alone. So
For what feature
many
exactly?
for the Sidekick log viewer. As soon as I
Okay,
saw it,
okay.
I
So
signed
well,
up for
happily
Pro.
to
So
hear that that's
yes,
a good feature that people like.
thank you. Okay, so one of the other ones, and this is the my third of my top three favorite features in the Pro version, is the Celebrate Marketplace slash commands. I
Yeah.
know I use this actually, and people the clients, they loved it. I love it. So would you mind showing that one for me?
Yeah. So for context, I'm first going back to the settings page, the marketplace. People may have already seen it. There is a celebrate a pack of commands that you can add. So if you do view, then you see what's included and the commands that it have. You mentioned the go live, right?
That's right, because we are
Yeah,
celebrating the go
yeah.
live
So
of the
it's really
the
appropriate
version
right
10.
now. So when you say slash go live, enter.
Just love it so much. It's so fun.
So this is it is a bit gimmicky, but maybe when you are in a Zoom call with a remote Teams, then it can be
Yeah.
really nice. And so when you trigger it again, when I by the way, arrow up scrolls to your last used commands. That's not a new feature, but people may not be aware of it. When I do go live and I say Chris and everyone on the stream, thank you. Not a good typer.
That's right.
Yeah, let me fix that K. So then you get a custom one here,
Nice.
and another new feature that has been added in when you go to the settings, and this is not a pro feature. Repeat last command is Command L. So when you have prepared it, you don't want to type it out on screen, obviously. Now when I hit Command L, it's repeating that command.
I wouldn't say it's gimmicky. Like, can we just not have fun a little bit? It's
Yeah,
fun.
and there
It's
are,
fun.
if you yeah, if we want to have a bit more fun, then we can do like confetti. And one I particularly like myself is sometimes when I think you already mentioned it, Chris, that people sometimes say like, "Hey, people ask me what I have on my screen," and then you explain that it is SN Utils. When
Mhm.
that happens again, I would recommend command slash and then SNC, SNU, sorry. Uh, all right.
Oh, yes. More fun. Love it. We'll also do that. We do have one comment, though, saying that they're not seeing the Celebrate pack in the marketplace and they are a pro member. How can you
Okay.
repeat how to get to it again, if you don't mind? And then
Well,
Neil, if you could just comment if you get to it.
in the marketplace, the ones you have added, they will be on top. So yeah, if you search for celebrate and you don't have it,
Mhm.
then
Do you,
then reach out to me. There may be something going on.
sure.
Then I would be happy
Just
to look in what's going on.
And just make sure you're logged in the top right corner that you see the
Yeah,
first letter of your email address, things like that. But
yeah,
yes, Neil, if you're having issues still after the stream, please reach out, and Arnud will definitely help
yeah.
get you.
And by the way, a good thing to notice is these are a bit first iterations of.
Yeah.
I do open up for people if you are, for example. Item specialist or whatever, then I am not. So I want to improve those embedded packs over time and maybe add more. You can volunteer, and I'm not sure when or what that will take effect or how I exactly gonna do it, but it is something on my mind to add.
Sounds good. We did get that issue resolved. Neil was able to find it under Commands Marketplace. He was previously just under
Ah,
Snippet.
okay, good, good, good.
So
Yeah.
always be grateful when
And
it
I
is
do want to take.
simple.
Did you get someone who responded or?
Yeah, somebody responded in the chat, so we're good.
Oh no, what I mean, did you get a suggestion for script include?
No, but we could take one. So if you have a
Yeah,
script
I can
include
do
suggestion,
what you.
just tell her
I'll
what you
first
got.
explain this. When you say new command and you Here you have an overview of the open tabs you have, and you can then pre-fill. This is a really simple one. But when I go to the AI assistant and I say make this searchable by scope or code content, I'm not sure what it if it will work. Hopefully, so now it has come up with something. Apply, and here you see that it has come up with a filter. It has given it a name. I'll change the name to let me say SN sys for script, and then save it. And then this is a team feature. Normally, it's only available for yourself. If you want to share it with your team, then click this one, and then is the members of your team are able to subscribe to it. So let me say save command. Now it should be immediately available here. So when I do sys and say glide, enter, that should get really a lot, because which script include does not have glide inside of the script name. So this is the one. So it should now be a lot easier to create your own. And if you do want to create your own, with if you're not if you're a community user, here you have a lot of information about how you can create your own, and there's also a docs page explaining it to get you started.
Speaking of the docs page, we do have a question. Do docs and product documentation commands, are they still there?
Yeah, so I did. I always used to have the docs commands. So the docs, I clarified that docs is the ServiceNow one, and help that is looking at the SN Utils one.
Okay. It's an important differentiation.
Yeah, and also what you see here, improvement that is also in community. Previously, when you would type docs, it would only find the this one, the docs, but now it also searches in the description of the slash commands. And I'm not sure people are aware of that. But below navigate to search, you also have hits that are part of the navigator. So some people may like the classic navigator, but in theory you should not be needing this, because it will also search through when you have slash commands.
Excellent. Okay, well, that was a ton of information. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
I
for
see we're
sharing
almost on the top of the
everything.
hour.
Yes, the time flew. I think we may have to do another deep dive, maybe almost like a deep cuts session where, imagine your favorite band played the deep cuts that you wanted to hear from one
Yeah,
of their first
maybe if
albums.
people, maybe if some people have some questions, put them in the chat, and we can do a
Mhm.
follow up to do some sort of a Q&A session.
Yeah, definitely. And live solutioning, or here's how you do it, almost training. So, but our key takeaways are that it's been 10 years of SN Utils, a little bit longer. The go live for the pro version did happen last week on Friday, April 17th. Sorry. Today's date is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. We just wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining us. You can check out the Community Pro and soon to be Enterprise versions on snutils.com. And Arnoud, how can people connect with you directly?
Yeah, everybody is welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow the LinkedIn company page.
Mhm.
There is a dedicated channel for SN Utils on the SN Devs Slack. So yeah, every channel you'll find, I'll try to be responsive. Anyhow,
Excellent. And we'll put links into all of these pages in the descriptions on the videos, so you'll be able to access them as well. Thank you all for spending some time with us to celebrate SN Util's 10-year anniversary and some big announcements. Really appreciate your time, Arnoud, and look forward to seeing you at K26.
Yeah,
So
I'll be
yeah,
there.
now you can all stop them. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'll be there as well, and I have a session. So if people want to join,
Hmm. Yes, and I will be at that session as well. Looking forward to being there. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and hope you all have a great day. And remember, you can sign up for the pro version today, get used to all those features, and check out more that comes in. And we'll have to have a second episode to cover some more of that stuff. Thank you again.